You're fine, bud. But you would be thesis.
Let's do this.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rescued Reviews. I'm Nick, my lovely co-host and owner, Kelly. And down there, who's that man?
I'm the new rescue. They rescued me.
You're a good boy, aren't you?
I feel like I'm a stray, bro.
That's weird.
That's weird, bro.
Hey, it's all good. You know, we were just on with lethal coils and everything like that, and you know, we had the conversation. $20 is $20.
Exactly.
Oh God, that was our frat house's like saying.
So, we usually start off with the vape buffet. So, what you vaping on tonight, Mr. Thesis?
Oh, I'm not ready for this. I am vaping on the GP3. That's right, because I'm too cool to call it a G-Priv. And I was genuinely, first of all, thank you guys for having me on.
Our pleasure.
When I was pissing and moaning that one day, I was mostly kidding, but not really. But the fact that you stuck to it, I'm impressed. I wouldn't have had me on. Let's see, G-Priv.
You're a good guy.
I know.
Like you.
I appreciate it, bro. And I just finished up the review today, and I had to review it 3 times. The second time, 23 minutes into the video, come to find out, I go to hit the record button to turn it off. Turns out it's been frozen for 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So I literally spoke for 21 minutes, basically, into an empty fucking room. You know, you pay a certain amount of money for a damn product, and you expect it to work, right? And that's what happened. So this with EMB, what was the canto? I don't have it in front of me. It's, Batman's line. This is the upside down rum pineapple cake. It's fucking.
That sounds good.
Can I shout out the coupon code?
Go for it.
The Thesis 15. If you're on the Patreon page, you guys already know you guys get special access to my testiculars and better coupon codes. However, that's pretty good. Although they do have a buy one get one, I wouldn't even use my coupon code. I would just use their buy one get one that they're doing for this month. And then I got the Pro 200 regular stock, just black and gold with the Freemax Firelock from way back, like a Cadillac full flats. And then I was just cleaning the gold barrage with the 1 of 1 24 karat gold dipped Pro 200. It's
wow.
24 karat gold dip. He made it, which makes it worth something to me. But that will never leave the studio.
That's pretty.
That's it.
That is pretty.
I love it. With that said, what about you guys?
Go for it, love.
Okay. I got Vaporesso Lux with Vacuum Tank. And I got Mika, because Mika. And then I got my all day, everyday Homeboy Rage Dead Rabbit with Vengeance, because that's what I always have in there. And I'm not going to say it wrong this time.
Okay, let's see.
I have my Purple Siege
Bye.
Immortal.
Okay, there we go.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
I always, the last couple times I've had it on here, I've called it a purge, because in my head, Purple and Siege came out at the same time. It's not a purge, it's a Purple Siege. So, yes, Purple Siege.
Okay.
And I have 50 BMG Reloaded by Gorillas. I forgot how much I love this flavor, but it's really good. That's what I got.
All right, for me, I got my all day, everyday vape. Have you seen this yet, Thesis? It spins.
No, I have not seen that.
Yeah.
Mostly because vape companies hate me.
No, this is Bang. This is the Bang by Immortal. Top side fire. I love side fires.
As do I.
And then on top of that, I got the Axial Pro. Inside of there, I have the new Nico, the Snickerdoodle custard that we're coming out with. And then I have my Dreamer, the 1.5. On top of that, another Axial Pro. I love the RDA. It's amazing. And inside of that, I got my trusty old Benthol, the guava lemonade on ice. And that's it for me. I have a light buffet today.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
What's that?
And I forgot, huge shout out to Lone Star Vapors. My homegirl, Carol, she's been a supporter of mine for years. Got to give her a shout out. Unicorn, I call it the Burt mod, because Burt Kreischer is my spirit animal. But this is the 18350 Burt, not the Vert, the Burt. And it is the Vert. It was being a dick. And then the Cree by Gas Mods, probably, it's my personal favorite MTL. It's a K-Fun killer.
Yeah.
And
it's so adorable.
it's a dude. I've seen vibrators like that come in bubble packages at a Chinese restaurant for 50 cents that are way bigger than this. Look at this. Fucking. But I got someone yelled at me for saying the Cree was better than a bunch of other shit. It just is, bro. Are you mad that it costs $20 and you paid $100 for a fucking K-Fun?
Yeah.
If it's what you like, then it's what you like. There's no wrong way about that.
Sure there is. I'm right.
Have you tried the dot mouth to lung?
No.
It's a really good one.
I'm nervous to try it.
Why?
Because I already did my top 5 MTL video. I don't want to be wrong.
You might be.
Save it for next
I'll
year.
accept it. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm fucking wrong. I'm not.
See, I personally I'm not a fan of mouth to lung setups at all.
I have to be. If I'm working in woodworking and stuff, if I rock my big ones, so much sawdust, so much bullshit gets inside my airflow holes.
Yeah.
I still use it for months at a time, like the same coil in this, because my menthol is just clear. It doesn't kill coils. But my MTLs, I rock my Pod Juice 55, my 55 milligram Jewel Mint, and it fucking I hit one puff. It feels like I'm deep throating a box of razor blades, and I'm done for a half hour. I don't have to go back to it.
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I would rather not use my MTLs. I love my sub-ohms and my Jerpers.
Yeah, see, with me, I can't even do salt. Like, even our salt, being a 12, 18, and a 24 milligram, they kill my chest.
I enjoy it. It's probably not good. Definitely not good.
All the salts.
I enjoy the salts.
Speaking of which, we have a sale running on the salts right now.
Shiny balls!
Yep, Shiny Balls is our coupon code. And it's you go.
Is there an innuendo in this?
Well, no, there's a whole story
Not
behind
towards
it.
me.
So when you go to the website, you type in the code Shiny Balls and you get 30% off your order of $45 or more of salt mix. So if you buy 3 salt mix, it's $45. You basically buy 2, get 1 free.
Yeah.
So I'm not involved in the innuendo with the shiny balls.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, no. We're good.
Shiny balls. Vengeance, he has very shiny balls. He doesn't have any hair on them for some weird reason. Don't know why.
To lick them.
And yeah, he licks them all the time. And if
Are we talking about a person?
A dog. See?
I was gonna say I would like to. Oh yeah.
Yeah, my dog.
I've seen
And
Peaches.
if you say, we taught him that the phrase shiny balls means he's going to bite someone. So if you say shiny balls, he's biting whoever's closest.
Like the movie Stand By Me, sick balls.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also kind of funny because, like, if someone's breaking into the house, I yell shiny balls, they're first going to stop and be like, why is she yelling shiny balls? Like, that's a weird thing to yell. And then also Vengeance will bite you. So
I'm super sorry. I don't want to interrupt. I'm trying to promote this stream right now, and I know for a fact I'm subscribed. That's how I found British Eyes, because it popped up on my phone. But I do not have a notification.
What?
Yeah. So where are we streaming?
YouTube.
Okay, right. That's what I'm saying. I'm subscribed. I have notification bell ticked. I've had for a long time, but I have no notifications. What is the channel URL?
Rescued Reviews.
Yeah, Rescued Reviews.
Yeah, it didn't notify me either. That's weird.
So with YouTube's been going through and has not been doing that for a lot of vapors.
For me, I know for a fact it does it. Half the Patreon's like, dude, are you going live time? Like, Ben live for 20 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Alex, he doesn't bite just balls. He'll bite whatever is closest. So it could be balls, leg, arm, neck. It doesn't matter. He's biting. So that's why we picked that code.
Working.
That's okay. Mine is. I got this.
Okay, cool. Because I have nothing. Last comment I had was when I said "What's up" to everybody.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's life.
Nick's just ignoring everyone. Just say no. It's cool.
Hey, so let me ask you guys a question.
Shoot.
Where do we donate to? So I'm assuming you guys donate to shelters, and so on and so forth. Let's see, rescued views live. Boom. Okay, had to publish that shit on Facebook's. Is there? I know a bunch of the proceeds go towards helping animals and such, right? Am I correct in that?
15%.
15%. That's dope as fuck. So, do you show like? So, do you have a specific shelter, or is it a specific foundation, or what is it?
So it depends. If a shop picks up the line and it's a large enough order, what we do their 15% is we'll go and sponsor a dog, and then we'll buy the food, buy just random stuff for the shelter for them, or whatever makes up the 15%. If it's small little orders like what we get on our website for individual people, then what we do is we'll just donate it to the Humane Society in general, so that way it can get split up between X, Y, and Z shelters, whoever needs it.
Like the Humane Society of America or the ASPCA, depending on who needs it more.
How do you determine who needs it more?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. It's like, so if we've donated a lot of money to the Humane Society of America, then this month we'll donate it to the ASPCA.
So there's Minnesota's got a fairly large organization of no-kill shelters. They are. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you what the reasoning is, but they're. Well, you're smiling. What's going on?
So we'll let you get to that in a minute.
Okay.
We'll do the critter corner now, since you're bringing up Minnesota shelters. Oh, I gotta get my other app pulled up again.
So for those of you who are seeing the YouTube thing, if you look in the description, you'll see that there's like an actual little blurb about the Animal Humane Society located in Minnesota. So it's near you. They've been around for...
Thesis.
We always pick the shelter or Humane Society local to our guest. So...
That's super cool.
The Animal Humane Society is located in Minnesota. They currently have over 200 pets available for adoption right now. They've been around for over 100 years. Last year alone, they were able to find home for 20,000 pets. They're the third largest animal shelter type of thing in the state of Minnesota. So it's really awesome what they do. And Nick's got some pictures of some of the animals that are available for adoption there right now. You'll notice in the video, in some of the clips, that there are things like rats, guinea pigs, gerbils, there's a dove. These are all pets that someone had at some point and turned them over to the shelter. So you could walk out with a dove, and it's not like a homing pigeon or anything. It's just the dove pigeon thing. Like, it's really kind of cool. But a lot of them they have been there for a while. They're all looking for homes. They're all available for adoption, and their adoption fees are, they're generally between $200 and $300 depending on the pet.
And most of that money, just a heads up, does go to, because we've purchased from organizations like this before. I try to get it from people on Craigslist just because I know that a lot of them are just trying to get rid of the dogs, and if someone doesn't buy them, they're going to just bring them to the Humane Society. We all know what happens after that. But if you do purchase from these shelters, most of them, if they're nonprofit, they all have to have not only the money that's accepted, but they have to show where the money's going. And I haven't done this research in years, so I apologize. I'm super rusty on it. And if it wasn't, teaching my kid how to spell an hour and a half ago, then I would have done more research. But yeah, so the money you pay, the $200 or $300 it takes to adopt, and they do come inspect your house. People complain about that. They have to pay their fucking employees to do the shit that they're doing. They have to pay for the spaces that they're doing. And
also it pays for things like spay, neuter, it pays for microchipping, updates on shots. I mean, it pays for literally everything. So it's not just you're giving these people $300 for this dog. You're also providing food and care for all the other dogs that are there as well.
100%.
And as part of the Critter Corner, I always have a care tip. And normally I do a lot of dog tips, and I just thought, let's do something crazy. So I have a tip for your rodent family. So rabbits, guinea pigs, rats, stuff like that. All their teeth will continue to grow as they age. So aside from having things that they can chew on, another thing you can do to help with that is take them to the vet and have their teeth clipped, just like you would having their nails clipped. It's very important because if you don't do that, the teeth can curl, they can splinter, they can create abscesses, and they can get into your bloodstream and kill your pet. So it's very important that you maintain proper dental hygiene for your rodent family.
And a good way to remember that is like the saying, someone's getting long in the tooth, like getting old. it stems from horses, I think, is the original place it comes from. But like that's just a good way to remember it.
Yep.
Getting long in the tooth. If you notice, if you have rodents and their fucking teeth are getting long, or a horse, I guess. I used to work on horse farms. I didn't know their teeth kept growing.
Oh yeah.
I just knew I hate horses. Fucking hate horses.
But I mean, that's the thing. If they bite down, they can actually bite through the soft palate on the bottom of their mouth.
Jesus. See, any animal that does that shit should never have evolved. Listen, I know God don't make mistakes. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and say that one was is real close to a mistake.
But they keep their teeth sharp so that way they can do things like defend themselves. So they need that ability. But if you have a rat as a pet, it doesn't really need to defend itself because it's a pet. So it evolved to protect itself, but it didn't evolve to be a pet.
Growing up, my foster brother got bit in the ball sack by a shrew.
Ew.
Yeah.
So
100%.
That is my critter tip of the week is get your rabbits, rats, guinea pigs, get their teeth checked. It's important so you don't lose your pet.
And that is why I was smiling, Thesis, when you started talking about Minnesota pets.
Yeah.
Cute. That's amazing. Y'all motherfuckers are dope. Hey,
We try.
We
ever
have
tell about
moments.
the time that my son, I had to teach him what death was?
Oh.
So Scarface.
Mistress Mayhem, they do have the pigeon. They said that they will adopt to people out of state, but you do have to come to their shelter to pick up the animal. They do not ship.
Those say they want to meet you, and also, do you know how much it costs to ship a bird?
Yeah. So you
Shipping
do
fish
have to
is
go there.
expensive.
There's a story there. There's got to be.
Nick has fish.
I have dude, you and my nephew. Crazy story. So the night that I was watching you and British, that motherfucker, I was going to pick up that snake to scare the shit out of my wife, right?
Yeah.
He was getting rid of the snake because my nephew's getting another 600-gallon tank. He's got thousands and thousands of gallons of freshwater fish and shrimps. And beautiful, yeah. But he's got these Brazilian ones, got these little tiny alligator gar that look like giant, like the big ones, but they're miniature and stuff. And he's learning how to breed beta fish. And I'm right. And I'm like, why? He's like, because it's one of the most difficult fish to breed with their bubble nests or some dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, a week or two goes by. I open up I have a beta in our bathroom and I felt bad. His name's Brad. So I went and got these little cute fish that I guess they don't mind because beta sits at top. These guys are at the bottom. They're copacetic. I open it up. My nephew's like working weeks at getting these two beta fish to mate and the male to make these bubble nests. I open it up to feed him. That motherfucker had a bubble nest. I sent a picture to my nephew. He was pissed. Because he did. All I did was just not take care of him for 3 days. And he was like, give me some pussy, bro. Hold on. So my son, 3 years old, my oldest, 4 years old at the time, 3 years old. And I quote unquote rescued a purebred American bulldog with AKC, American Kennel, AKA papers. Hold on yours. My cousin bred these beautiful bulldog breeds, Rottweilers, Pit Bulls, Colorado Pit Bulls, Colorado Bulldogs, and American Bulldogs. And I couldn't take both the American Bulldogs, Tasha and Scarface, and they were on paper. I'll tell you what, some of the ugliest fucking dogs I ever seen. Their eyes went like this. they had trophies because of it. And I'm like, why would somebody want their eyes? And he's like, that's a part of the breed. I'm like, bro, that's not normal. He's like, no, it's the weirder it is, the better. I'm like, okay. So I take Scarface home. He's trained with these tires around his neck. Mm-hmm. So like throw the ball, runs, and his fucking chest looks like Ronnie Coleman and some shit. Looks like fucking Joe Rogan on a leash. And I didn't know that American Bulldogs and Bulldogs, bully breeds, pit bulls were decent at hunting. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that they were World War II dogs for helping to rescue soldiers in the battlefield. So I knew they were fast. I just didn't see how fast. And you know how fast rabbits are.
Yeah.
Our property has shit tons of rabbit holes. And so we just let them roam. I'm not going to kill rabbits. They're not hurting me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't know was we were going to be outside playing Frisbee with the puppy. And I threw the Frisbee, and Scarface is looking the opposite direction. I said, Scarface! And he didn't even move. His ass was up like that. Hits me, boom, right inside of the dome piece. He didn't fucking move. I was like, something's going on. All of a sudden, I see this white just flash. And it was just a pack of bunnies, little adorable, fluffy bunnies. And my son goes, Bunny! And Scarface takes that as a cue and said, get him! Whoosh! Like a fucking, you ever watch a bulldozer, just chomp on a excavation pile, just class 5, just that was my first experience ever with having to tell my child, like, well, I mean, that's what happens. What scares me is that he didn't cry.
Well, I mean,
he was young.
He knew what the fuck it is. Dad, that's blood. It's blood. I'm like, yo, it's blood, dude. Scarface does not need any dog food tonight.
Exactly.
Now Tank's the opposite. Tank loves the snake. Tank loves the chickens. Tank loves every animal. The pig, he fucking loves pigs. He doesn't like the cat.
Vengeance loves the rats. They're his best friends. But he catches the wild ones. Like where we live, we're close to a river, so we get wild rats in the yard, and he'll catch them and he'll kill them, but it's because he's playing too hard with them, and then they die because he squishes them. And then he brings them to you because he wants you to make them make noises again.
Oh, so, that is fucking disturbing.
It's
the worst of this is I was asleep in my chair. I just got home from doing construction. I was done, exhausted. I'm asleep in my chair. And, Vengeance is roaming around the house and in and out of the house. And next thing I know, I feel like a toy land on me. So I grab it and I just throw it into the kitchen, for him to go chase it. My eyes are still closed. And then he plops it down on me again, and it's soaking wet. And I was like, dude, open my eyes, and there is this big-ass rat on my chest. Completely squished everything.
I just love your puppy.
That's disgusting.
Yes, it's horrible.
Oh, I think. And Tanky loves it.
Wanted to play with you. That's all.
Which one's that?
This is Tanky Pooch. This is Tank. He's a Neapolitan Mastiff Pit Bull.
Isn't he the one that you got from the stewardess, flight attendant, whatever she's called?
Yes. Wow. Holy shit, that's a great memory. Yeah, she was leaving him for 3 days at a time, and it was a cat that would bully him. And poor Tank, all he wanted to do was eat his fucking food and take a nap. And this cat, he's got pretty bad scars on top of his head from him. I didn't realize. I hate cats. Our cat's fine, I guess. You know what I mean? But I don't hate cats. I'm allergic to them, and I want to love them. So I have to develop a hatred. Otherwise, I would die of asphyxiation. Because I just want to do this with cats. You know what I mean? I just want to fucking rub them in my face. But yeah, our cat bullies him too. But I just don't get it. I'm like, you're a stupid, dumb, big animal. And all these animals, you just let do whatever you want. And he's just like, yeah, just play.
Yeah.
Our chickens do this to him, like Karate Kid his ass. Do that type of shit. And Tank's like, fuck yeah, bud. Like, no, he's going to poke your eye out, bro.
Yeah. Well, birds are terrifying. I'm terrified of birds. I mean, I got treed by a turkey when I was like 8 years old, and now I don't do birds. And the worst part is
what happened?
So I went to a friend's house. I was like 8, and we went over for a birthday party, and it was like me and all the classmates and the birthday kid and all that stuff. And like my dad was there, and my friend's parents were there, and I went outside. I'm that person. I'm that stupid person that's like, I'm going to touch all the animals. And the friend was like, hey, the turkey's friendly. And I was like, cool, I'm going to go touch it. And I went to go touch it, and it chased me. And then I climbed a tree because I thought I could get away from it. And I was up there for a couple hours crying, and everyone was laughing at me. At least it felt like a couple hours. I'm sure it wasn't. But it was like the worst moment of my life. And then later on in life, I found out that turkeys can get into trees. And I was like, this thing was circling the tree, gobbling, and just fucking with me. Like, nope. So.
That's scary. That's scary.
Now I don't do birds.
So birds are my personal favorite pets. I grew up with these 2 birds, Poncho and Cisco, and Poncho was an asshole to Cisco. Cisco was the girl, Poncho was the male, and they talked. They were parakeets, but they talked very well. They sang like "Beautiful Dreamer" and "Look Who Go Out." They're the amount of smarts that those animals have blow my mind. Like these guys are just 2-year-olds with fur. Birds are like 16-year-olds with weird shaped penises. Like it's bizarre. It's all they want to do is fucking sing, right? They're like a rapper. They're like these mumble rappers. It's like Lil Yachty. I just want to rap.
That makes so much sense. I'm kind of mad that makes sense right now.
But it's the truth. So, but Pancho was such a dick to Cisco, and one day I wake up and Cisco's dead. Like, I mean, dead. You know, you poke her with a fucking stick and it's just... And this makes me want to fucking cry thinking about it. And poor Pancho understands what the fuck happened. So he's whistling the song Beautiful Dreamer while grooming her tail.
Oh.
Yeah, and that shit fucking hit me hard. So I went and did my due diligence, whatever Craigslist was at 2006, which are basically prostitution and Volkswagens.
And that guy that killed people.
And the guy who killed that's
Craigslist
so
killer.
Yeah, we had serial killers, lifted Chevy trucks, and another person with a fucking cockatiel, not a parakeet. It was a cockatiels. And so I go pick up cockatiel. Her name is Shay. Now, Shay wasn't having none of Pancho's shit. Shay was a young buck. Pancho was like 36 in bird years. This bitch was like 19. So Pancho tries to go all span wing, rolling his dick out and shit. And that motherfucker said, nope. Ha! So I was like, that's what you get for killing your wife, you dumb son bitch.
Well, I mean, did he kill her, or was he just, or did she?
No, I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if it was what it was. She was like 17, 18. They could live to be super old. But she did die prematurely. I don't know why or how. Like they had their own aviary. Like, so they had an open cage at her house. And we had a 4-season porch. It's Minnesota. So like if you have a porch, may as well make it 4-season. But the carpet wasn't carpet. It was the indoor outdoor carpet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a mini putt golf course inside that room. And so they would just kick it up on the fan, and they were fairly potty trained. Sometimes once in a great while they would have accidents while sitting up on the fan, and it was a vaulted ceiling. But most of the time they would go in their cage, they would shit because their food was outside their cage. So like they had ample room, they had ample food. We played with them all the time, and that's how they learned songs. Shit happens, I guess. I got friends who died at 17. So fucking if a bird does, whatever.
Yeah. So so we have this long running question about wombats.
The fuck is a wombat?
They're giant rodents in Australia. They get between 45 and 70 pounds.
Like a nutria?
Kind of.
Same or similar?
Similar, very similar. So they want to know, how do you feel about wombats?
Let me tell you something about wombats. They piss me off. If they were worth knowing about, I would know about a wombat. Wombats, being from Australia in particular, are obviously less interesting than a fucking koala. And they eat eucalyptus. I wouldn't eat eucalyptus. I wouldn't eat it with Nick's mouth. So the fact that I know what a koala is, but not a wombat, and I've known that word my whole life. Why? Couldn't tell you. Cartoons?
Yeah. Probably. But they're basically like super giant guinea pig looking things.
Nope. Didn't know what it is. Yeah. I know what a nutria is from Louisiana, where rednecks eat them. And I didn't know what a fucking wombat was. I thought a wombat was like a... No. You know what I'm saying?
It's a 70-pound guinea pig.
I'll take one. Do you have one?
No. They're not legal for pets in the United States, which is really sad because I would have one. But Nick, I'm sure, would tell me I'm not allowed to have one.
Not if their teeth keep growing.
You just take it to the vet and get them clipped.
Oh, they clip it? I thought they like put them to sleep and took a
Dremel. They have like nail files. They just like go out there and they're just like, yeah.
I'm pulling up a picture of a wombat right now.
Yeah, like that's all it is. It's just a really big rodent. But yeah.
I've had exes describe me the same way, you know?
Wombats.
I mean, they're not horrible, but so the going thing is Ryan, British Eyes, has been talking about kicking wombats. He thinks he can kick one. And I'm
does he?
Trying to get him to understand that that's between 45 and 70 pounds. See,
with my fists coming to his testiculars. You don't kick animals except for horses. I fucking hate horses personally. I'll kick a dead horse.
How do you hate a horse?
Yeah.
How? Horses don't do anything.
Oh, not on the horse farm I worked on.
Horses can be assholes.
They were rodeo horses. Or rodeo horses. Rodeo horses.
Rodeo.
They were fancy horses.
They were. They paid a lot of money to not visit their... I took care of them. They may as well have been my horses. They paid $3,000 a month to get them taken care of. I never once... I worked there 6 days a week at 15 years old. Never once... I take that back. There was a couple times where her name was Sherry. I know her last name too. And she owns a giant car dealership. I can tell you who it is. And you're like, oh, no way. Yeah, way. her property line butted up to their property line. Won't say names here. And I took care of her fucking horse. And her piece of shit horse, this is why I hate horses. They required all this attention. Like it was, bro, it's like owning a fucking Bentley.
Yeah.
The maintenance ain't cheap. It's pretty to look at. I think they're gorgeous animals, just beautiful, especially after I got done with them. Brushing, shampoo, brushing. Here's some fucking oats. And now, meanwhile, they're shitting out of their tail that I just brushed. Stupid animals. So we'll call him D. My boss's husband, D, is in. It's not a horse. It's just the electric fence. It's outside the barn, right? Okay. The electric fence. Mm-hmm. He was the stud. Beautiful, beautiful horse. Now he started getting real rowdy when we were bringing in new horses. So we would bring him outside the barn thinking, he don't, out of sight, out of mind. One day, I don't know if he caught a glimpse of the new horse coming out. It was a female, beautiful, it was black and white. Look at basically a cow, but with pretty blonde hair running down the back. And he started to buck. And my orders were very clear. If you ever see, we'll call the horse name C. If you ever see C start to buck, and if you or anyone's in the cage, there's a safe word, you yell the safe word. I'm not going to repeat it for obvious reasons. There's a safe word, and one of the guys will grab the pistol. It's that simple. And that's what had to be done. And I watched my boss's husband get just murked. And he's a very experienced horse motherfucker. And that was the first time. Meanwhile, that's happened many times after, not in a very long period. I only worked there for 4 or 5 years. We'll see that happen on a regular basis where a horse seems to be perfectly fine, brushed it, and all of a sudden it just flips the fuck out. So I don't hate horses. I'm just really respectful of them. They're giant animals.
Yeah. I mean, they can kill you if they want to.
Very easily.
That's what I mean. That one kick to the chest, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Or, a kick to the head.
Or if you're a woman trying to put a horse penis inside you. You ever see that video? That messed me up.
I've never looked at that up. I'm not sad about that. I mean,
or the guy one's even worse. You don't get to see the whole thing, which I don't want to. My brother used to make us watch fucked up shit, dude. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. He's like, watch this.
It's a part of many fucked up groups.
Blame it on the brother.
I was 12 and 13. I didn't know what that website was. It was just where you watch gory shit, and all of a sudden,
it's experimenting. You're good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
12 and 13, you're like, I work at a horse farm. This could be fun.
No.
Wow! Look at here, T-Rex. Oh yeah, that's gross, bro. It's like a white milkshake.
No. Oh no.
You know what's hilarious? So I've watched inseminations happen in real life. I mean, like, it's hilarious. It's such a dirty, shitty, gross job. I've never done it. But I watched. I was there. I was fucking bringing it up, and it's literally a fleshlight. Like, it's a fake vagina, and it's a real girl horse. But they literally guide the dick in to a plastic, pussy pump, fake pussy. You know what I mean? And when that shit comes, let me tell you something. Dude, it's like pouring out a 175 with back pressure. It is not a joke. But the craziest part of all is these people are paying like $7,000 for a fucking pint, and they can split that amount between like 8 different people. It's pretty crazy.
That's so weird. Like that's just weird.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, when people are making money on either race horses or studs, like, I get it. Tank, I love the shit out of you, bro, but you're naked. You're weird when you're naked.
And he's like, just love me. Just love me.
Just love a boob.
He wants to be on this show.
Look at his eyes. Aren't his eyes crazy?
Yeah. Vengeance is mad because he was outside playing in the mud, and then, we had the other show that we were on with Lethal, and I didn't let him come in because he's covered in mud. And so now he's like sitting by the basement door, just really sad that I won't let him in.
I just realized that the chat was moving. I had no idea that, because I was like, well, there's nobody here. I was just on the same.
Oh, yeah. No, the chat is going crazy. It's one of these times we're going to end up having to put on the slow chat because we get so many people talking in here, which is great. I love it.
British's new name is Britache, by the way.
Britache? Okay. We just know him as the Chicken Jesus.
No, why is that?
Well, when we went to DC, we stood in front of a mural that was Jesus with a chicken head.
Let's see if I can find that.
Well, that's not very nice. That's pretty fucked up.
It was weird. No one really knows why it was there. No one can tell you anything about it. It's just a giant mural of Jesus
That's not
with
art
a chicken
to me.
head.
I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a America-loving Christian.
It's a weird thing.
I'm not a Christian. I'm sorry. I was just saying that to make Batashe feel bad.
But yeah, so we talk about Chicken Jesus a lot because it's one of our favorite memories.
Jay Blase.
So, where did the name Thesis come from?
So to make a long story longer, our group, Poetic Styles. So Maze 1, Poetic Styles. I used to be a graffiti writer, and I mixed in with that. Then I started battle DJing, like legitimate DJing like techniques. And my goal was to make it to DMC, Disco Mix Club, and I was way too young. I started DJing at 14, and I was just like, at one point, my brother and I started to make a crew together, both as DJs. We made a song, a rap track. This is circa like 2004, and as a joke, it continued and continued and continued. Got featured on a TV show local in Minnesota. It was DJ Maze, and that's what I wrote as in, doing graph was Maze 1, and there was already a DJ Maze out there. So then it was DJ Maze, blah 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 blah. Years later, met this dude. I liked his voice. He couldn't write for shit. So I wrote all of his tracks and I started ghostwriting for other people. And so did he. Like, he got to the point where he was amazing. We formed a group called Thesis and Theory. So TNT, that's what that stood for. TNT, that's on my chest. And be with me for the rest of my life. I love that man. I love that dude for, Theory, the other half of TNT. But when Thesis and Theory formed, the whole reasoning behind it was my mom. We were at bingo for our birthdays. Me, my boy Josh, and her. All of my mom's birthday is April 11th. My birthday is April 10th. His is April 13th April 11th. Same as my mom. How did I forget that shit? Oh my God.
Did you say yours was April 10th?
Yes.
That's my son's birthday.
No, bam.
Yeah.
Bam. Me and your son, we go way back like Cadillac on faux flats. So we're at bingo, and I was writing. I was on my phone. So think of this like the very first Android phone, the Google G1 wasn't even called an Android. It was the G1, the Google One.
Wow.
Writing. Yeah, I'm writing a track on this fucking phone, and my mom made a joke. She's like, and Josh talked 10 times more than me and 10 times faster.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she's like, you guys are like Thesis and Theory. You talk shit and he writes it down. And she was talking shit. She was making fun of us. But I was like, and I looked at Josh. Josh looked at me. And I'm like, should we change names from Poetic Styles to that? And I'm like, yeah. So I Googled it. What did the copyright trademark shit? Didn't exist. I was like, done. Boom. Solid. So as we got signed, Thesis and Theory, TNT became a thing, became a brand. We got signed to Nocturnal Entertainment out of Minnesota and City Slicker Entertainment out of Chicago with Moochie C and them. And you know what like Atmosphere is, Brother Ali?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was eventually going to be the incubator studio label to Rhymesayers, essentially, as far as I understood. And we got signed, and picture I'm 18, and he's 18, I'm 19, rolling around in a fucking Camaro. Like, we didn't know how to use money. Like, you're giving us money to do music? All right, drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all we did was party and fun stuff. Come to find out, we were getting fucked in the butthole. Not there's anything wrong with it, just not my style. I was like, hey, put us on. Like, put us on. Money's great, but like, put us fucking on. We're doing better than all the other artists who are old as fuck, and we're number one on. Granted, at the time it was Reverb Nation and SoundCloud, but we're number one out of all Minnesota. We are the number one artist on the internets, which at the time was just emerging, 2008, 2009. You know what I mean? Push come to shove, shit happens. No hard feelings. I'm like, I'm leaving. The attorney looked at the contract. He's like, basically, you could rip it up if they really wanted to sue. If they had the money to sue, they could make you pay $200. Not you, but like whatever your entity is, your brand. It's a $200,000 buyout for the name Thesis, just Thesis. And I'm like, well, what if I change it to Thesis himself? It's like, there's nothing they could do. So Thesis himself, that's where Thesis himself came from.
Okay.
I wanted to distinguish myself from the group that was TNT, Thesis in Theory, to just Thesis himself. So I was like, how much literal can you get?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
That makes sense.
Chicken Jesus.
I don't know what to say. How do you know that's Jesus? This is a dude with a robe on, bro.
When we were at DC, we saw that, and we, Britishized his actual name is the Gas Man.
Yes.
Because he can get you that good.
So while we were standing in front of Chicken Jesus, someone asked Ryan if he was the gas man, and he was very confused because he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And yeah, the guy ended up pushing like his 7-year-old kid out of the way.
He was pushing a 7-year-old kid out of the way?
To ask Ryan if he was the gas man.
Yep.
Yeah, it was weird. It was totally weird.
Huge shout out to Emily Blue, by the way. Real quick, she just joined the Patreon page 8 days ago. And she messaged me. I'm not going to say what the message was about. I gave you my phone number, hit my ass up. I'm 100% about when situations change. With that said, I'm going to send you the executive producer pack anyway.
Oh.
Just for the fact that you hit me up and you were like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm trying to always make it very clear, like, listen, it's about the money, but it's not about the money. So like when you even show an interest in supporting the Patreon page and what I do it is for a living, all jokes aside, you got what you want. Like, do it up. Yeah. And the fact that you thought about taking the time to write me a message like, hey, this is my situation, great. It's the assholes who hit me up at $30 tier. They get a signed Barrage t-shirt, this, that, the other, coil stickers. And then all of a sudden, boom, they deuce the fuck out. And then I never get that money. I never get the $30 that they signed up for. It's those pieces of shit that piss me off. Has nothing. But I don't give a fuck if you sign up for $1. Like, to me, that means just as much as anything else. Yeah, period. End of sentence. The fact that you did that, the fact that anyone does that blows my mind.
Command Shift or Shift Command?
Shift Command W is better when you are recording.
So Command Q is quit. Like when you recording, like Command Q, Command W is close window. Like Command equals is your transport. I think it's being a dick. I can't tell if he's being funny or being a dick.
I don't know. So how did you come up with the Barrage?
Yeah.
The Barrage, the Inception. Well, no, I want to address Frank Wolfbite real quick. I'm not going to back down from that shit. Like, bro, like, if you want to fucking talk about it, let's talk about it. Like, I got proof days. Look, I mean, my stats don't lie. You can look them up. They're public. End of sentence. Like, hold on. I can do screen share on here, can I?
Yeah.
Bam. Let me see. Like, if I talk about it, I'm about it. I'm not going to bullshit you.
And that's what we love about you. You are what you say you are. And
you don't lie about it. You don't hide it. You don't do anything.
No, not at all. Here. So this is an old one. This used to be Nimpro. This used to be my record label. Nimpro was a joke. It started out as a joke. And we got some heavy hitters on the fucking, how do I share?
Click the share button.
Bam. Share. Desktop, computer sound. Bam. So here's some older stuff. Got newer stuff. But this
Frank says he's kidding.
Okay, much love. Okay, all right. Then this is all unnecessary. So this is old school shit. However, look, it's genuine. Let's see, which is the one that was on? Do you guys know what the Bubble Love Sponge is? The radio program from Florida and whatnot. So go ahead. Let's see. God, I used to be fucking skinny and cute. Fucking there's Scarface. Holy shit. Look how big his head is. 180-pound bulldog. Well, 179-pound American bulldog. So let's see. Here we go. So this is. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
No, we heard you that time.
Oh, you heard the music?
Yeah, that time.
Okay, so this one, I'm just gonna fast forward to like my verse area.
My first impression, but I've always
Everything is written by me, wrote by me, produced by me, engineered by me, and my vocals, me personally. Bam.
I've never been that good at making the first impression, but I've always had the best of intentions. It's alright, make the best of what I'm giving. This is my life, it's only mine to be living. I always had to thank you at the end of my sentence. Back in school, I never had perfect attendance. Rarely got an A in any class that I attended. Never had a teacher that was good at teaching lessons. Most days spent with the superintendent. 9 out of 10 times find me in detention. Couldn't think without the blessing.
That was more or less when I was going for more of a mainstream sound to get. This was for a contest that I did gong out of. So like it was second place, which sucks. It means first loser as far as I'm concerned. And I truly believe it was because the first
Said it was disruptive.
but like, so all the singing in the background is me, including the rapping, all of it. The chorus is not me. I'll be super clear about that. I don't have a New Zealand ass accent. Here.
And slowly on the
to find after all this time I'll be okay.
You will not stifle me, you ain't gon' trip this. I got my wings, I can fly, you won't slip shit. It's all good, all gravy and no biscuit. No drugs, I'ma make it on legit shit. With perseverance and talent that I exhibit. This is not court, but they judge me like a critic. I'm just a realist, but they say that I'm a cynic. They say I'm not a star, wouldn't stop asking for wishes. Tryna walk in pitch black, chronicles are in it. I can't do nothing else, time is already committed. I got a back of my decisions, these haters just don't get it. Man, no one know me like I do, so why you keep guessing? Goodness gracious, I'm tired of the waiting. Feel like a doctor who's running out of
So on and
patience.
so forth. But like want to talk about gangster shit, like my real shit, dude. Like I'll fucking murk. I will murk. And this isn't even being cocky. This is just who I am in real life as a person. Anybody like in the vape game wants to battle me. Like dude, you want to battle Thesis? Let's fucking go. Let's see. Let's just bring up a self-named track. Enemy Freestyle. It's a solid one. That was specific towards somebody here. Thesis line for line. Big shout out to Henny Beats for doing this one for me. This beat in particular.
I'm dilated, anticipating. They say it'll come with the virtue patience. Problem is, I ain't got no patience. Seems like a doc in the back complaining. Anything you say was a done stated. So why's everybody eagles so inflated? Y'all thirsty, I'm hydrated. To the top of the chance that I done take. Just fall a guap, call the vacant. Bitch, give me that with a pound of bait. Y'all fall asleep, not sedated. Up at the bomb, but I can't relate. Off on the scale of accumulated. Activated like a calculator. Feeling myself like a masturbator. Y'all switch teams like a master trader. Y'all switch teams like I'm my trader.
Fast forward that bitch real quick.
Y'all switch teams like a master trader.
I
But
could get into that.
would I catch you later?
I could get into that. I don't really do a lot of rap, but I mean that's
I
not
appreciate it. If you like lyrics or like even poet, like so, my dad's a published poet. So I always look at it through his eyes. Like alliteration, simile, metaphor is like and wordplay in particular is like my shit, right? Like that is my thing. I'm almost like a fucking like autistic with it. I will write to rewrite a track 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times before I even remotely consider recording the track. So if you broke it down, lyrically speaking, the song Ganon Freestyle, Enemy Freestyle, as well as there's a few of them, go so hard. One-to-one freestyle in particular. Let this track finish out real quick. It's a 10-second verse in the second verse. Here.
Making impression, find my crater. But would I catch you later? Making impression, find my crater. Turned up like a master fader. Chris Columbus, rap crusader. When I started to be a hater in the truck like a fader. Cold in the ice, refrigerator. Never really gone, I'm back. Terminator. Gotta explain, translator. Jokes off the game like a defibrillator. I'm Thesis. Just in case you didn't know, I'm going check the speakers. Just in case you didn't know, I'm going check the speakers. Just in case
So on and so forth. Like, you can find music videos on YouTube. Like they're like 8 years old, 10 years old, so on and so forth. Not braggadocious, but like I've done some cool fucking shit in my life. The YouTube, the vaping was a complete accident, and I've never been I've never been afraid to admit that. Like vaping was I tripped in the fucking woods, went to land on my face, and went through a portal of rainbows.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It
Vaping
does.
was an accident. I used it to quit smoking on accident my whole life. And I don't even mean this to be like anything other than just the truth. Like it was an accident. I forgot my pack of cigarettes. I got a DWI, couldn't drive. My job was an hour away from my house in St. Paul in Wisconsin. No one wants to go to Wisconsin. Not even Wisconsinites want to go to Wisconsin. And my girl's driving me. I forgot my cool hundreds. I walk into a truck stop, go to buy a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, look at this. It's a toy cigarette. In 2009, excuse me. I purchased it. I walk out and I went without a cigarette the entire 12-hour shift at Katy Cheese Factory in Katy, Wisconsin.
Wow.
So yeah, that was 2009. And so the cool part about that was I was working at a multi-million-dollar facility, not a braggadocious thing. I was getting paid like a fucking Chinese Apple employee. But I was able to smoke. Not in my head, it's not smoking, but in my head, I was like, oh, I can smoke in the control room. And I'm hanging out with Chilla Rose and Yellow Wolf's manager and shit. Meanwhile, they're smoking weed, but I can't smoke a cigarette, so I'll smoke on this thing. It was just a cigarette. It was just a throwaway cigarette, like circa 2009. But that's how it happened. Simple as that. It's not really a deep story.
That's awesome. But I mean, it's still a cool story to have. Like, so many people have different variations of their own story, and like I love hearing how everyone gets involved in this stuff.
I thought my sister's stepdad was gonna die because of he had a throat anatomy, a tracheotomy, and I started getting. I was in the studio one day. I was recording verse after verse after verse in the mic booth behind me, and Teddy, my engineer, he's a crackhead, but he's also really wealthy, so he's allowed to be. He's got pretty blue eyes. It's crazy. He works for Disney now. I shouldn't have said his name. We'll call him T. That motherfucker helped build this and the last studio. That dude is he's like a, what are they called? Those like angels that come in your life for like 30 seconds. Oh, floats away.
Guardian angel?
Yeah. No. He's like a financial angel without money. He's a broke crackhead financial angel. He's a savant. He's a genius, mathematically speaking. And I'm really good with nodes and understanding phasing and understanding acoustics and how the math works in terms of designing a room. With this room, there's no parallel walls in the recording studio. But part of it is because I just knew how to design it. Teddy can tell you mathematically exactly why the room works. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So but I'm recording with Teddy. This has been 2012, April, just before my birthday. And my throat started to hurt because a lot of the tracks I write are very guttural, like who daring to step on my instep? I got a win grit for all of my whim shit, almost screamo, but rap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden my throat hurt in a way that it's never hurt before. And I had a mini panic attack. I've never experienced a real panic attack in my entire life, but once on the way home from a doctor winter before last. I was talking to Tony B when it happened. It was crazy. And I thought they were fake. I thought people just wanted attention when they had anxiety attack. Dead serious. I thought anxiety was for a bunch of pussies. Like, oh, are you scared? Oh, buck the fuck up, bro. You know what I mean? And then I had one. I was like, oh, these motherfuckers is real, son. Woo! My hands were numb. My nipples are hard. I told Mandy, I almost called an ambulance. I'm getting freaked out thinking about the shit. I swear to God, that's a real story. On the way home from the doctor, I'm like, I might be dying. And my doctor's a fucking pinhead. He can't figure it out.
Well, don't have a panic attack now. That's not cool.
Oh, no. I'm fine now. That was the only one, but now that was all I needed. That's all I needed to know that shit was legitimate. So I'm in there and I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can keep going. It's like, fuck do you mean you don't think we've only been recording for 3 hours? I'm like, all right. So we kept going. I wake up the next morning and that's when I started spit. I used to smoke 3 packs of Cool Hundreds a day. Meanwhile, I'm 22 years old.
Wow.
And I'm spitting up. I'm but like that, that wheezy, and I'm spitting up brown chunks. And I'm like, something's not right. Now, speed up, not even a week. I lost my other pack of blues. So I went to a tobacco shop to get another pack. Meanwhile, I'm paying like $95 for a pack of blue e-cigs, right? I'm sitting in I had the time I had an SRT8 Chrysler 300, which at the time was dope. And I look down, I find a wallet. I'm like, well, now I can't go anywhere. I'm holding this person's wallet. It's like fucking fat cash, like like boomer money. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so this kid comes out, he's looking all over. I'm like, what, did you lose something? He goes, yeah. I'm like, well, what did you lose? He's like, a wallet. I'm like, what does it look like? And he explains it to me. So I gave it back to him. And so I'm waiting for the tobacco shop to open up, talking to Mandy on my phone. I'm only a few miles from home. And the old guy comes out and gives me cash. I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, I didn't earn that fucking money. That's your money. I was just holding it to make sure this young buck didn't steal it from you. And he kind of got mad that I didn't take it, but he fucking shoved it through the window and was like, people like you, blah, 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 in a good way. He was complimenting me, but yelling at me. That's what boomers do. And he fucking, I said, all right, well, I'll take the $40, bro. So I took the $40 and I went in and I got myself another pack of blue e-cigs. I go down to Chicago to my sister's wedding, and it's the first time I've seen my sister's stepdad in years. And I didn't know, we were sitting outside the brewery where she was getting married at. I didn't know I went to pull out a cigarette and he puts up his sounds like South Park. And he's like, this is what I smoked before I had my tracheotomy. And he grabbed a cigarette and he ripped the filter off. And I was like, my throat's hurting, coughing up shit. And this man isn't that old. He's in his early 50s. And he's got a big old hole in his neck with gauze around it. Yeah. And I told my girlfriend at the time, eventually to be finance Mandy, eventually to be wife Mandy. I'm like, I make a living with my voice. I don't know if I can, like, if my grandma died from cigarettes. She died of lung cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that shit runs in the family, like, hardcore, including cardiovascular disease. And so that's when I decided to quit. So I quit just before I started recording videos on YouTube, December something 2013, just before 2014. Yeah.
That's
What
cool.
is your guys' vape story? How did you start a liquid company? You guys are gangsters.
So the liquid company was kind of we wanted to come up with flavors that we truly enjoyed. And that's kind of how it happened, like mixing shit together, figuring it out.
So you guys came up with the flavor and you decided to work on the recipe yourself?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know how rare that is, by the way?
Do you know how much a pain in the ass it is?
I'm aware.
We created the recipe and then we had to find someone that could recreate that recipe. Like, that was the hardest part, is we knew
When you
what
say
we
recreate
wanted.
it, like, I'm assuming you guys mixed it initially yourself.
We did initially, but then you have to send it off to a co-packer because we didn't, with all our animals here, we didn't want to pack stuff here.
How much
Wait,
dog
you
hair
say
do
you
like
don't
to
want-
vape?
You
Right.
don't want dog hair and rat teeth in your liquid?
Right.
What,
Yeah.
a bunch of pussies? It's America.
So, we had to go through a couple of different co-packers before we finally found one that was like able to recreate exactly what we created. We'd send them the recipe, but they'd always be like, oh no, because different types of nicotine have different types of flavors. And so if you put a certain type of nicotine in the guava lemonade, everything else can be right, but it's going to taste wrong because it's the wrong nicotine.
Yeah.
That's something most people don't consider. That's pretty fucking in depth of you. Like, and that's not like a downward compliment. That's a genuine compliment. A lot of people don't realize that not only the source of the nicotine, the age of the nicotine, where it was sourced from in particular. So, like, if tobacco grown in Kentucky, for example, versus tobacco grown in India, has a completely different taste. Same sun, same fucking planet. If you're getting that nicotine from tobacco leaves, different parts of the world, it's just like coffee, just like anything else.
Yeah.
That's gangster as fuck.
I mean, it took a long time, but we finally found someone that could create it the way we wanted it.
Well, tell me the exact amount of time. How long did it take?
Ben has, between us and the two different co-packers we've used, Ben has probably, one co-packer has 36 versions of it.
36 versions?
from one
Yes.
co-packer to get it right.
And
I quit at 14.4. So, damn.
it took us 3 months to get the version of Ben for ourselves that we made on our own. So that was 3 months just to get the right version of Ben.
Yeah.
And then to send it off, it was another 36 flavors from that person. And then the other co-packer, I want to say, was like 20 different versions. Like, yeah. It
So-
was...
Big shout out to fucking. So, are we allowed to say who's co-packing or who's making it?
Liquid
Yeah.
filling now.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
And we use
Liquid
North
filling.
American nicotine.
And honestly, I'm surprised that they keep us around as a customer because we're a pain in the fucking. I am. I'm the one who deals with them. I am a pain in their fucking ass.
I can understand that. You look like a pain in the ass, though, to be fair. They probably knew that coming on.
I think
Okay,
they-
so after about the first 15 versions of Ben, Nick was like, you know what? I'm just going to come to you. I'm just going to show up and,
No. Remember, I went first.
oh,
The dynamic I had that issue with, and
okay,
yeah, fuck dynamic.
Well, don't say fuck dynamic. I mean, just because you know what I mean. Like they might be great for somebody else, and just because it's not good for you.
Oh no, they fucked over countless people.
Okay, well, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck dynamic.
yeah.
Like
You know
so-
what's hilarious? The dude mixing my liquid. I had 2 lines that are never talked about. They'll never be talked about again, probably after this, unless someone asks. Big Bottom Vapor. The bottles on it. Do you guys know who Jessica Rabbit is? Or are you guys too young?
Yep.
Okay, so I could give a fuck about titties. Titty, as long as they don't look like I'm kissing up on some dude named Chris. You know what I mean? Titties, whatever. Titties
Why is it got to be Chris? Like, can't
what, Nicholas? As long as I'm not kissing up on a dude named Nicholas.
Hey, I have grown mine long and hard.
As long as it's not a dude named Xanthopus. You know what I'm saying? Some Louis C.K. type shit. Like, I'm a booty and thigh guy. Like, I want some big old thunder thighs and a big old booty with a skinny waist. Like a disproportionately skinny waist. And
So Jessica
So-
Rabbit was perfect for you. Nah, I feel sorry for your mom cleaning up your socks.
look, I would have too. I'm talking, I don't even have a mod that can be, oh, here we go. You see this base? I like hips like that and a waist like this. You know what I'm saying? Similar-esque. And like I said, titties are just, titties are titties. They're sexual organs, I guess. They're just mammary glands. Little baby, get some milk out those bitches. Booty. Bam. So me and Mandy came up with the name Big Bottom Vapor, and it was a Jessica Rabbit style bottle. Remember back when everyone was doing skull bottles and like,
Oh, yeah.
here's a saber light from Star Trek bottle. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that shit. I don't watch Star Trek. I'm talking about onion booty. I'm talking Alexis, Texas meets Molly Cavalli porn star booty bottles. Just looks like a fucking emoji, like someone went bloop with the emoji, like a just bloop bloop bloop, and it hits send on that bitch, just like that. So you got a peach container looking bottle, this whole bit. The waist would have been the bloop eyedropper situation, and she was looking back like this. Jessica Rabbit status, you know what I'm saying? However, that one was one, and that one never came to fruition. That one didn't come to fruition because I got distracted from, money gets in the way.
Yeah.
Money over bitches type shit. The second one did come to fruition, and it lasted about 7, maybe 8 minutes, and that was 32 Below. It was a line I wanted of the best menthol money could buy. However, not being braggadocious, I'm just being completely honest. Would I buy from me? No. The biggest reason being was because if I wouldn't vape my own liquids, my own plain menthol, the rest of my line was phenomenal. But my flagship liquid would have been my menthol. It was called 32 Below, and it was the logo was just a state of Minnesota, and Minnesota's cold as fuck. Everyone knows it's cold as fuck, so 32 Below just worked. And the marketing was perfect. The promotion was going to be perfect. The whole line was perfect, except for the flagship. And it was when I talked to my boy Nick, and the reason why I even bring this up is because your mixer, you said, was Nick, correct? But a different distro.
Jake from Liquid Filling.
Oh, I swear to God, I thought you said Nick. Well, this whole story is fucking a mute point now. My bad.
That's okay. That's okay.
Fuck.
Keep
Well,
going.
long story short is it was 14.4. It was Tank, man. Listen, we've played tennis all day, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
He
So
just wants love.
I know. We couldn't get the flagship menthol correct. And if I can't get the one thing, that's the only one I really gave a fuck about. And I kept going back to vape dudes. Meanwhile, that's not even a plug. Vape dudes don't even like me. They don't even like me. That's all I vape is vape dudes ice. Do you know how hard I tried to clone that liquid? For months. I was like, fuck
We're gonna have to
vape
send you
dudes.
some menthol. I
I
bet
was
you'll
thinking
like
the
it.
same thing. After the show, shoot me your address.
That's all I vape is just strictly menthols. This is just menthol and pod juice, 50, Jewel Mint 55 and 16 milligram 50-50 blend of ice.
I mean,
We'll get
menthol
you
is
some
a
menthol.
guava lemonade. It is a guava lemonade, but it's menthol, and it's like a nice, refreshing beach type of flavor.
I want to feel like I'm deep throating a fucking piece of lava rock. Like I want my throat to
Yeah.
hurt.
The hotter you vape it, the colder it is.
That's my boy.
Like, so a lot of people are now finding out because they listen to us talk all the time. But when it came to the flavors, Nick doesn't do salt Nick. Nick doesn't do high nicotine. So anything over 3 milligrams, it was on me. I would taste the 3, and then I would have to do the 6, and then I would have to do the 12. Like, I literally tested every single flavor, every single mix strength, and we tweaked them so that way even the 24 tastes like the 3, tastes like the 0. Like, we wanted to make sure that all the flavors were exactly what they needed to be.
Yeah.
How's the throat hit?
I mean,
On the 24 and 18 and 12, not very 30. We don't want a 30 vape.
Oh,
We want flavor there, but to give you the nicotine satisfaction.
I want my throat to fucking burn.
I mean, you do get the burn because there's nicotine, but it's not as bad. Which for me,
I have a bottle of PG specifically for that. So like I would love. So I feel a little left out of the loop. I've never had any rescue, none.
Well, like I said, shoot me your address afterwards. Shoot me your address right now on Instagram, and I will send you.
I'll put it in chat, motherfucker.
Okay.
well, that's weird.
Kelly, write down his address because I probably will not remember too.
I'll take a picture because I'll forget it. I don't have a pen handy.
What Nick level?
So everything is 3 except for menthol. Whatever the menthol is, I vape at a 16, 50-50. So if you have a 70-30, then you can bring it down to 12-ish.
Okay. Well, the highest we go on our menthol is a 6 right now.
That's perfect.
Okay. And it's
Oh no, hold on. You said it's a flavored though. It's not just menthol.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's-
not pure menthol.
If it's not pure menthol, then do a 3, please.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't want to do a pure menthol. There's so many.
It's hard.
of
It's the
them
most
out there.
difficult flavor that exists. Yeah, but none of them are any good except for ice by vape dudes and Simple Vapor menthol.
So
If you
savor
smoke-
the flavor. We have 5 flavors for rescued, and we have 2 flavors for pack leader, and we have 5 more flavors on the way.
Do they also with all of your flavors? Is it all under rescued or are they different lines, different brands?
There's 2 different lines. You have the rescued line,
Okay.
Which is like our OG line.
and then you have the pack leader line.
Do you guys even have wolves in Virginia's?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're in the mountains of West Virginia. We get coyotes, wolves,
Let's see, we got
mountain lions.
wolves. Oh, I helped raise bobcats and mountain lions. Those motherfuckers are scary.
Yeah. Like we get all kinds of wild giant beasts. It's
I
great.
raised a bobcat named Jake. Do you know how unassuming the name Jake is?
Right.
He was fine when he was a baby. His fucking paws were the size of my face.
So Savor the Flavor is asking about our flavors. So we have Ben, which is our guava lemonade. Benthol, which is our guava lemonade on ice. Vengeance is banana caramel candy. Velez is blackberry cornbread pudding. Vulcan is strawberry kiwi. Then the pack leader line, Mika is vanilla peppermint, which is like the white part of a peppermint patty. And Nico is a snickerdoodle custard.
I'm getting horny thinking about that peppermint, vanilla pepper, and I'm getting horny thinking about the other one that I heard you say.
The snickerdoodle,
Nope. It was another.
Benthol.
Nope.
the Velez, the
Cornbread?
blackberry cornbread.
Cornbread. Ooh, don't get me started.
So with the pack leader labels, if you have a bottle of pack leader, go to the side of it, see that QR code, scan it, and that'll take you to the website and tell you all about Miss Mika.
Yep, and so that'll be like that for all the pack leader animals. And then when we put the new labels out for rescued will have the QR code. Until then, by the end of this week, I should have all the information loaded on the website for the dogs.
Hey,
Yeah.
so I just got a question from the militia.
Go for it.
Have you? Yes, I'm still live. Yes, a penis emoji and a butt emoji. What do you guys? This is not a trick question at all, by the way. What do you think about CBD? Not just e-liquid, but just CBD in general, because it's it's just an influx has happened in vape shops. That's all you see, actually. When I go in, that's mostly what I see advertised. There's cute e-liquid and then CBD everywhere.
So for me personally, I think vaping CBD is pointless. I think tinctures, rubs, sprays are 100% the way to go for CBD stuff. But vaping it, when you heat it up, it kills almost off all the medical properties unless you're doing it correctly. And most of the time, people are getting the liquid from the shops. The shops aren't explaining to them how to do it. And so when they actually go and heat it to vape it, congratulations, you're heating expensive liquid.
That's not necessarily true, though, because people have been using marijuana for its CBD properties, specifically speaking about cancer treatments.
True.
And that's still being heated. And
Correct.
it's worked.
But that's usually flour.
When
Right,
you put it
right.
into a vape liquid and it's mixed with other things like the PG and VG and all that other stuff, if you heat it too high, you're going to burn off a lot of the extra beneficial properties. You might still get some of the benefits, but you're not going to get the full benefits because you heated it up too high. And a lot of people don't know that, you don't want to put your expensive koi CBD liquid into a Falcon tank. You want to run it at a lower wattage instead of, full bore on a lipo box. Like, you're going to get the best benefits at a lower wattage.
Yeah, like Alex, do you remember the waffle that we did for the little girl with brain cancer?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
No.
So we did a waffle 2 months ago, a month ago?
I think it's like a month ago now.
And it was for a family. The dad's name is Alex. He's in the chat right now. And his daughter has brain cancer.
God, I'm sorry to hear that.
And we were able to raise like $2,000 for him, which was awesome.
That's amazing.
But one of the things that he does for her when she goes through her treatments is he'll mix a little bit of the CBD tincture into the smoothie for her. And that really, really helps with all the nausea, the side effects, and stuff like that.
No, I'm not familiar with that term, tincture.
It's a sublingual under the tongue. It's like just a liquid that you put under your tongue and you hold it in your mouth for a couple
size.
seconds.
So curious, when you smoke a joint, for example, or a cigarette even, more accurately a joint, say if it was flower, even if it's just weed, it doesn't matter, like weed, whatever's in a joint paper. I can't say for cigarettes, I've never looked that up before. But as far as I remember, please fact check me on this. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, I don't know, but I know I recognize it's 920 degrees, 930 degrees-ish Celsius, which is somewhere upwards close to 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
When you're taking an actual puff. As it sits, it's something like 600 or 700 degrees Celsius. Do the math for Fahrenheit. That's much hotter than vapor becomes.
Right.
And I just want to keep going back to that because I'm like, that doesn't sound right to me. I'm not saying you're wrong. Not saying I'm right at all. I don't know enough. That's why I'm asking about the
so
actual.
So just so everyone in the chat knows, I am actually a certified herbalist, and I am certified in CBD and THC as well as other natural herbal remedies.
Like a naturopath?
Yes.
Do you have a degree in it, in naturopath, and how I don't remember the word?
I have a certificate in it, so it's not like a degree, but I am, educated on it.
Certified.
Yeah. So when you smoke something in that aspect, it gets into your body differently because the CBD can adhere to other properties in the cloud that you're inhaling. If you're using it through a vapor product, the PG, the VG doesn't allow the CBD to connect completely. So it's a little bit different. You do still get a lot of the effects, but you're not getting 100% of the effects. You might be getting 60% if you vape it at a high wattage. And the higher you go, the less of a percentage you're going to get.
I mean, you could just, in theory, use a lower wattage
Yes.
rain. But what I'm saying is, if you're using CBD flower or just weed in general, and it's bringing 920 degrees Celsius, 1,300, give or take, 1,200 and some Fahrenheit with a joint, and it's so. Just as an example, eating celery, from what I remember, is it literally bursts lung cancer cells in particular, lung cancer cells by a rate of 20%, lowers the cancer rate by 20%. And again, this is coming from NMDs, like legitimate 4-year degree naturopaths, natural medical doctors. Not a certificate, but a full-blown. So I used to work with, this is again, not name dropping, Monty Moyer. I was working on his house, his studio and whatnot. His wife is a NMD. His wife is you guys know Prince, the singer?
Yeah.
So his band, More Stay in the Time, they're keyboardist.
Okay.
And again, not name dropping, just giving an example of who this person is, so you know I'm not bullshitting. His wife is an NMD, naturopath medical doctor. And this is where some of this information has come from. Not all of it, but some of it. So celery, if taken raw, is a better form, for example, than taking it as a pill, because the way your liver breaks it down, the way your body breaks down, your kidneys break it down. Just like you can go and fucking eat all the supplements you want, if it's not broken down in a cellular level, your body is not able to absorb it. Right? You're shitting most of it out. I would assume CBD is the same similar way. But the heat part weirds me out. I feel like you got to check that out a little bit more in depth, because CBD properties in THC, like when you're even, I can't smoke weed personally. I'm already hyper as it is. If I smoke weed, I get hyper and depressed. It was not a good combination.
That's not a good combination.
I get paranoid and I hate myself. I'm like, your whole life is a failure. You should jump off a bridge. So I can't fuck with weed.
I mean, and even Tenacious said vaping CBD is hard to get an actual effective dose. And a lot of it is it's if you vape, if you smoke like a joint, if you were to roll a flower joint, you're going to get way better benefits because of how.
But I don't understand why, because you're talking about particulate versus vapor, right?
Because in the vapor cloud, it's consistent of VG, PG flavorings a lot of times.
But so is nicotine. Nicotine you get from a cigarette is the same amount of nicotine you would get from a vaporizer. Nicotine
doesn't adhere in the same way that CBD does. So because CBD, it goes through a lot of biotransformation is what it's called. It goes through biotransformation in your body. So when it gets into your system, it changes from just CBD to endocannabinoids. And by doing that, it gets into your bloodstream a little bit differently. And so if you were to ingest it, like eating a pill or gummies, like that's going to get into your body through your digestive tract. If you're smoking it, like actually smoking it, it's going to go into your lungs. A lot of times with the vapor products, especially with CBD vapor products,
is the word you're looking for bioavailability? Like I'm just assuming.
No, it's biotransformation, because it changes when it hits certain parts of your body.
So then that means it's not bioavailable to your body.
No,
your body's not able to actually absorb it.
No, it is. Your body actually makes endocannabinoids.
Right. Yeah, cannabinoids, of course.
Right. So if you ingest it through vapor products, the vapor, the PG, the VG, it makes it so that way it goes in through your mucous membranes in your mouth and in your throat and then to your lungs.
Right.
With smoking it as in flower, it goes directly into your lungs, which gets it into your body faster and a better effectiveness.
So when you smoke it doesn't go through the receptors via the mouth?
No, because of the properties of the burning versus the heating. I mean, and again, I'm educated. I'm not a doctor. I don't know 100%. You know, I'm just telling you what I've learned.
100%. I'm the only reason why I'm asking is because I have a, pardon the phrase, I have a retard's education. I just so happen to do a lot of research on a lot of different stuff because I'm ADD, but like I tend to go dive deep in in the few subjects I know about. Like I dive as deep as I possibly can. And for me, CBD has never worked. Like CBD makes me feel, gives me a shitty tummy, and it makes me feel like shit. Like it gives me all the depression that comes along with THC without the high.
And a lot of people don't realize, but with things like CBD, you don't need 1,000, 2,000 milligrams of CBD. You really don't.
I was taking 200. Let me see.
200 is great.
Taking 200 milligrams.
Most people start off between 2.5 and 5 is where you should start according to the herbalist rules, and then they'll gradually work your way up to like 250. But they seldomly go past that unless it's for a severe medical reason. I mean, that's just what I've been taught. I'm reading chat.
That's interesting. It's super interesting. I was just curious on what you guys thought, because it, like I said, in terms of me psychologically and mentally, it did not jive with my brain chemistry, and I wanted to like use it specifically for my back, and it just didn't do the trick.
Since using it through a vapor product or through smoking, try using it as like a muscle rub, something that doesn't.
That is what I used was
Mm-hmm.
muscle rub, and it made me. It didn't give me anything at all. Like it was. So when I vaped it made me feel depressed. When I dripped it in my mouth, I got under the tongue, the same way you were talking about. It made me feel not high. It just made me feel like not me.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Now, how long did you use the muscle rub for?
It wasn't long. It might have been 3 weeks at the most, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
You should start noticing effect after like 7 days.
Okay. I didn't feel either that or whatever I was taking, even though it was not FDA. It was from a federal farm in Kentucky, I believe it was where the CBD was sourced, and it was down to the point, whatever the federal legal limit of THC was, and I just didn't feel anything. It was just, I may as well have been rubbing lotion on my back.
And the other thing is what other properties are in the lotion? So like we have a CBD muscle rub, and we have probably 50 different ingredients in the muscle rub, and they're all natural, and they're all things that are carriers for the CBD, for the endocannabinoids that help get into your bloodstream. So that could also be something that why it didn't have an effect is because of the things that happened.
Yeah, and it was for sure not like a scientific. It's just one. You know what I mean? I didn't try a bunch. I also don't have the money to spend on $90 for a little ass jar of, some snake. I perceived it as snake oil. Well, I'll give it a shot, see if it worked.
I mean,
I have our $45 one.
Damn, that's it.
Yep, and it's 400.
I literally paid double that for a 2 ounce. It was a 2 ounce fluid ounce thing.
Ours is 4 ounces. It's 400 milligram CBD. It's all the good stuff that has peppermint, witch hazel, like all those fun things.
Let me tell you about witch hazel and motherfucking tea tree bullshit.
Yeah,
none of that shit works. Is fake, son. You gotta go to the doctor for some real shit.
Yeah, it's a nice big bottle. It's $45, and I have lupus, and it helps me with my lupus. I'm not to the point where I need chemo or anything for my lupus, but it does help me with day-to-day things like walking and, going to get the mail and going up steps.
That's what my mom does. She does the chemotherapies. She goes once, I think it's every month now. It used to be once every 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. She was one of the very first patients on planet Earth to receive, well, at least in the United States, in 1994 at the Mayo Clinic to receive that's what it is. It's chemo. It's a blood transfusion type shit. They take blood out. It's almost like it looks like dialysis. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to keep from that stuff as long as possible because I.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The longer you can, the better.
Right.
100%. At the same time. Oh, go ahead.
With me being 35, if I start doing things like taking opioids and doing chemo now, by the time I'm 50, it may not have the effect that I need it to. So doing things like using the muscle rub and, I use the breath spray in times of need.
The fucking breath spray.
Yeah.
So I was using the breath spray all over my nipples.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those, it does help me. I'm not a severe lupus patient where I need to be on anything yet, but I do know when I go to the doctor, they're like, hey, you have lupus, have some Vicodin. And I'm like, I don't want Vicodin. Like,
I'll be one of the few people out here who's ever going to be an advocate for people who need opioids. So I was and have been raced dirt bikes my whole life, right? Up until 11 years ago or so. Not on any professional scale, but just, race dirt bikes. And I still ride. I still ride. My back is fucked. So I broke my back. The first time was in the culvert. Excuse me. First time was in third grade. Pushed off a slide. And, it's just a round tube slide. I fell 7 feet onto my back, and my back went boom, just like that. So picture a tube. Right here is a tube, and I fell off like this and bent backwards the wrong way.
Wow.
Stupid bitch named Amanda. Sorry, last name starts with the H. Hutchins. Anyway, so gym teacher's holding me there. Scared shitless that I'm paralyzed. I'm scared shitless. All he said was wiggle your toes. I could wiggle them, and he's freaking out, which made me freak out. Ambulance comes. Had a hairline fraction on, I don't know, bingo, whatever the fuck numbers they call H2A96, whatever the fuck in the lower back. I'm fine. Years later, I then injure my back dirt bike. I hit the culvert. I fucking endo a jump. Front tire hits, and I keep holding onto the handlebars. Of course, you're not supposed to do that, but I'm like 13, just barely getting trained in, and I just keep hanging on. My legs go over the top of my head. Don't let go. All I hear in my ear, and that's it. I'm out cold. So whatever that portion of my back that healed the way that it healed, it would have been fine had that second injury not happened. It had split open. So my vertebrae went like this, right where it was the weakest, in the scar tissue. So from the age of around 14 to 19, I was on opioids. I was on 4 milligram or 3 whatever the least 2.5, something like that, Vicodin, basically as needed. Right. And I never went up, never went down. It's been a solid, steady. My muscle relaxers, I can barely handle because they make me feel the same way CBD does. Very lethargic, very ozoned, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then and now I just haven't taken. I do my, what is it called? My physical therapy. I've been doing physical therapy for years, 4 or 5 years now, and that's helped more than any pill ever could. Is just working my back and then working out. I'm an arms day kind of guy. So I just usually work on my my chest. Ugh. But the back days helped a shit ton. But I'm not saying I'm a proponent of opioids, but there's genuinely a certain sect of the population who doesn't abuse them, doesn't become addicted to them. And goddamn it, like I know what real back pain feels like. And I'll never forget this. It was December 2017. Never forget the rest of my life. I'm 27 years old at that time. I'm putting on my left sock. I have my right sock on. And as I pull up, I felt rubber bands in my back. And it felt like somebody, get over here, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, was ripping the muscles. So here's my spine in the middle, was ripping the muscles like a rubber band. And it felt like electrical pulses going down my back. Just putting my left sock on. And I got dropped. I've never had that happen before. I've never had that happen since. But I was standing up, and the next thing I remembered, I was on the fucking ground, like almost not paralyzed in the literal sense, but paralyzed because of pain. And I'm not saying anything bad about CBD at all, or I'm not saying anything good about Vicodin. It's one of those things where you got to fucking find what works for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
For me, it's been exercise, and I take my muscle relaxers when I absolutely need it.
And I'm not saying that people shouldn't be on painkillers. I know for me, it's not where I want to be right now. I mean, like I said before, I want to make sure that I can live to 70 years old and not be in a position where nothing's working anymore. I would
rather be in that position. I would much rather not have to take muscle relaxers, not have to take my Vicodin when I need it. I would much rather be in the position where I wanted CBD to work, and maybe I didn't give it long enough, or maybe I'm taking too much. I don't know.
I mean, it's hard for me to tell without knowing your whole medical history and all that.
I just gave it to you. That's my back injuries over and over and over again. That's essentially.
I mean, I would have to know your prescriptions. I would have to know how much you're taking, what brands, what's in the brand. Like,
I'll give it to you. If you think genuinely, and I mean this in a real way, like if you think your guys' CBD, especially with with whatever the carriers are for CBD, would work better. Yeah, exactly, John Augusta. If you think that would work better than what I'm taking, not only am I willing to give it a shot, but like I'd be happy to completely cut out my painkillers, my muscle relaxers, all that bullshit. Do you know what a TENS unit is?
Yep.
So I use a TENS unit on a weekly basis, 2-3 times a week.
I love those things.
Dude, it's fucking done me wonders.
Yeah.
It's done wonders for me. And
I can't use them anymore, but I love them.
Why can't you use them? I use it on my balls once.
Because of my lupus, I've also developed electromagnetic sensitivity. So,
is that real?
Yeah. So it sounds bullshit as all hell, but if I'm in a room, like you can see that I have a light on, but
in front of a computer.
Exactly. For me, all our lights are specific types of lights. I don't do fluorescent lighting. I don't do all our stuff is hardwired. We don't do Wi-Fi because I can't physically handle it. It causes pain. So,
What kind of pain?
It's, have you ever sat in a massage chair that's really, really broken?
No.
Like it's just like beats you up.
Oh, like like when you're about to get sick and your body just aches?
Yeah. Imagine that, but like the worst it's ever been in your life. So if I go into a home and they have fluorescent light bulbs, Wi-Fi, everyone's on their cell phones, the TV's on, like all the electronic stuff going all at once, it's like walking into a brick wall.
You know what's funny about that? I never know until you just said that. I never even put two and two together. You've always had a hard time going into an I don't know if you're familiar with Micro Center.
Mm-hmm.
Or Best Buy, something like that.
Yep.
If I go specifically towards when I was shopping for TVs, and I literally told my wife, "Wow, I never put this together until you just said that." Looking at TVs, and we're literally, I'm sitting in the television section, had my arms crossed. I was trying to buy a TV for my dad, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck it is. I couldn't put a finger on it. Like my entire body feels like someone's almost wedging a knife between my joints and doing this a little bit.
Yeah.
I always thought when someone was electromagnetic
sensitivity. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, how about you grow up hair? But I never thought about that until you just said that, and that stuck with me because it was super rare when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But when it does, it's in those particular environments.
Right. And so like all electronics will put off wavelengths.
EMF, yeah, EMF. It's the electromagnetic frequency.
And they're invisible. You can't see them. But my body...
I know it affects your brain. Like it can cause hallucinations. It can cause the feeling of someone watching you, for example.
So if I go into a house that has like every electronic thing on and everything going on all at the same time, I feel like I'm being shaken. Almost. Like it's really painful.
Almost a vibration in your vision in the back, sort of.
Yep. Like I literally feel the waves. It's the weirdest thing, and it sucks, but it's
a lot of times. God, I hate interrupting. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
You're good.
A lot of times, like for example, with hauntings in older houses in particular, there's little to no shielding on the electronics, specific wiring, because it's retrofit.
Yeah.
8 times out of 10, it's either electromagnetic frequency that people are sensitive to, or 9 times out of 10, or the other. Yeah, it would have been, or 9 times out of 10, it's going to be black mold in particular. It's the 1 out of 10 where it actually legitimately has some type of weird activity you can explain. Most of the time, it's because of what you just said. Older houses, non-shielded electronics, which blows my fucking mind that it still exists. But believe me, it does. Wow. I just never realized that it would ever cause physical pain.
And so like when you go to conventions and you see me at conventions, I lather myself up with the vapor rub. I have a spray with me at all times because it's just that little extra CBD that I can use. And by the end of the show, by the end of that 6 or 8 hours, Nick has had to carry me to the car a couple times because I physically hurt so bad, because a lot of convention centers, they have fluorescent lighting and there's music and there's cell phones, and like it's just a lot for my body.
Wow.
So yeah.
And you said you like peppermint, right, Thesis?
I love mints, peppermints, menthol.
Do you like candy canes?
I fucking love candy cane's probably one of my favorite flavors that no one gets right except for Halo.
This is the whole candy cane in your mouth at once.
And it's 100 milligram isolate CBD.
Oh, so the liquid. First of all, I should have invested. They were asking me for $2,000, and in 2016, it's still a lot of money to me. But like at the time, I was like, "You're asking basically for like 3 months' pay from YouTube, asshole." He's like, bro, I'm telling you, it's going to be big. CBD is the next big thing. I'm like, it can be the fucking Apple in the early days. I don't have the money for you. I should have got it because that company, I don't even want to mention the name, is probably worth $3-4 million now. I'm like, yeah.
But so real quick, because it is 10 o'clock and we got to get rolling.
Why?
Well, because Failure to Launch is on. And we always watch those guys too.
Yeah.
Oh, they wouldn't do that for you, bro.
Yeah, they did. They're in the chat.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm an asshole. Can I go live with them?
I mean, I don't know. Papa Smurf? Hellhound?
Lick your ass,
you guys want to get Thesis in on there? He's down.
Please? I'm sorry.
But real quick, there is a rally coming up in D.C. May 2nd.
Yes.
So
at the FDA.
At the FDA. So if you go, please make sure you're on your best behavior. Friday at 11 a.m. is the rally in Connecticut. Make sure you're sending all your emails, your phone calls, be polite, be respectful, all that stuff.
Can I just go ahead and say something to Papa Smurf quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Ready? There you go. That's all I want to say. So let's go live with Papa Smurf.
Well, Papa Smurf is just friends with the guys, but he's going to reach out to them and see what we can do.
All right.
You know, it's all about love. They generally have a lot of people on there. So,
do you have a Celtic fucking circle on your left wrist?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have.
Oh my God. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready again?
So this one, it does a heart.
He can't hear you. Now he can hear you.
It does a heart.
That's cute as fuck.
And it was supposed to be the Celtic symbol for sisterhood because I have 6 sisters. And we were all supposed to get them together, but I was the only one. And then this one, it doesn't want to move right. This one is my extra skelly.
That's dope as titties. So I'm not even a little bit Irish, but
I'm not Irish at all either.
Bam! See, Celtic all at the same time. I'm what's called Meltic, Mexican, Celtic, Native American. You put all those together, you get yourself a drunk person who speaks Spanish. So, mine are for. I converted a neo-Nazi into a not neo-Nazi, and that's what those meant. It was brotherhood. So yours is sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my best friend at the time, Shane. You know, I would say much love to him, but he went back to being a Nazi. So, you know, fuck him, right?
Yeah.
He's got swastikas tattooed all over his body, and I'm like, you wondered why you got fired from your Somalian boss, bro?
So I am actually Czechoslovakian. So there you go.
You know, fucking.
But you see, you got the TNT across your chest. I have a heart.
That's dope. I'm explosive.
Mine beats.
You know what's sad about mine? I got my heart covered up with a machine. Like I have the whole biomechanical sleeve.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't believe in love. Love doesn't exist. This is at the time of the tattoo. That obviously now I'm fucking married. I got 2 fucking shitheads and stuff. I'm like, fuck love. It's all about the hustle. When I met my girl at the time, and she hated that ideal. And I was like, I got 2 other girlfriends plus you.
Do not support this because we do not.
Oh, so they have Matthew Elliott on the show tonight.
Well, I'll be a part of fucking Matthew Elliott's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
We would make that chat go hard as fuck. Anyway, long story short, your heart situation's adorable. I want to get mine crossed out, literally just like this. But bam.
So
heart.
Yeah, Tate Fam is actually my girl Megan and Kristen, the Duchess of Immortal. We do a podcast called The Bitch Burrito. It's on SoundCloud, and yeah.
Can I be on it?
I mean, if you want to, we talk about girl stuff, diva cups and periods and stuff.
Fuck. Oh. I made my girl stop getting those.
Well, I mean, we talk about all kinds of stuff.
I love good. My whole life I grew up with. I love bitches. Like, I'm a hardcore feminist, bro.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a feminist.
Neither am I. But you know what I mean?
female.
Like I just feel like people should be equal. Why do we always have to put labels on stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 20th century now.
I was gonna
Just
say,
be.
listen,
Just be.
growing up, the word faggot to me meant it had nothing to do with gay people. I have many a gay like blood family members, and they used the word more often than I did. In fact, they called me that shit. Fuck you guys. You know who you are.
But yeah, so it is
Hold on.
quarter after.
Back to labels. I'll take 30 seconds of your time. That's it. Stop with the labels.
No labels.
No
It's
fucking
too
labels.
much time.
I take that back a little bit because we need to still. I listen. I hate Trump just as much as everybody. At least he's doing a little bit of good for our community. However, with that being said, there needs to be a little bit of work with the LGBT 14, 5Z, all that stuff. But aside from that, can we stop using one label? And that's the tobacco regulations.
Exactly.
That's the one that hurts my feelings the most. Yeah. When they keep talking about tobacco regulations, I'm like, bro, listen, let's just be honest. This is not smoking.
Yeah.
And that's the one that pisses me off.
Yeah, it's not smoking. It's vaporizing. It's heating.
No. And why the fuck do we got to get involved with people's sexual preferences? God damn it. Bro, if you like to do it, bro. Hey, look at my face. Look at my eyeball. Both them. I don't give a fuck. You want to fuck a platypus. As long as that platypus has lips that can say yes, hey.
Exactly.
More platypusy to you, bro.
Right.
So yeah, thanks for joining us. We've had fun. Lots of
I've had a lot
talking.
of fun.
Lots of hearts. Nick, can you do the hearts yet?
Fuck you.
Nick.
Bro, that's a circle. That's a mentally challenged circle.
He can't do it. His hands are too needy.
Nick's my favorite. You know what's hilarious is his beard is the same race as your tattoos.
Well, I'm actually Scottish and English.
Oh, well, you know, don't listen to me, bro. I'm drinking a shit ton of
See, I
coffee.
got the red hair too.
And Papa Smurf, the Connecticut rally is Friday at 11 a.m.
Our rally consisted of a Ninja Militia member today. I wasn't able to make it because I had to pick my kids up at school. It was at 2:30. Big shout out to my mom for picking up the boys last week that me and him both were able to make it. And then Friday they pretended to cancel it and still had it here in Minnesota. And I know what they were doing. I assumed they were waiting for the federal to see what would happen federally because it was last Wednesday. And they're like, oh, we're going to give it a recess till Friday. Of course, the federal shit was happening on Thursday. And today I wasn't able to make it, and I feel horrible. I've been to every single one in Minnesota, including the township ones. Bloomington, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Lakeville, Farmington, you name it. I've been in every single one of them. And I got called out by a Squid Industries employee, and it shit pissed me the fuck off. And I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. You want the real shit? Think I'm gonna lie about it? Here's the fucking pictures. Go on the YouTube. Goddamn, go on the YouTube. What am I, 63 years old? Go on the YouTubes. Look up Minnesota House Senate Dick in the Booty having ass Congress. God damn it. And I'm in the fucking videos. Just because I don't post about it on fucking Instagram doesn't mean that I'm not physically there, you cocksucking dick in the booty fucking. I bet you're a straight fucking cisgendered male, you white piece of shit. Sorry. That was my libtard coming out.
I loved it. That's great. That was your insult. You're a cisgendered male. Like, wow.
You're a poo-poo platter.
There you go, poo-poo. I don't like you.
Yeah. Little poo-poo head.
But so at the end of our shows, every show, we always say the same thing.
We have a catchphrase.
And it's because to say that you love someone is a lot of things, but you don't always have to like them because you love them. So every time we end our show, we always say, we love you and we like you.
Oh. But do you like me for real?
Yeah. Or we wouldn't say it.
All right.
Because otherwise we'd say, we love you, but we don't like you.
Right?
I don't know, man.
I mean.
I feel like you feel about me like I feel about wombats.
No.
He's big and I want to kick him. I still love that he exists. Still want to kick him though. Nick's face. I swear to God.
He's like, what's going on here? I don't know. What's
But he looked at me like it's like I didn't think about that, but it's just kind of how I feel.
I can see that.
Oh shit! Love you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm humbled always by anybody who ever wants to have me on. Someone as deep as you guys means a lot, especially because of the amount of good that you're doing. You're one of the very few companies I know who openly supports something outside of vaping, which people go crazy about. Bro, we all have interests outside of vaping. Like this is the main hub, but the fact that you guys donate 15% of your proceeds and your profits to animal shelters blows my fucking mind. Thank you for doing that. I don't know how often people say thank you, but I'm saying thank you for doing that. I love animals. I hate to see animals killed. Thank you so much for doing that.
And make sure you guys go, if you're in Minnesota, go check out those pets at the Animal Humane Society. They, like I said, they have 200 right now. So the pictures you saw are just some of them that they have available.
Yeah, I think we only have 20 pictures right now?
12. Yeah, so
there's lots of animals, guys.
In all ages.
Well,
so there you have it.
From us here at Rescue, we thank you, Thesis, for coming and joining us, bud.
Thanks for hanging out.
It really was.
No, he should just do this from now on. Nick's heart should go like this. Hold on, John Papa.
Here we go.
Oh my God, that's a better heart than that. Looks like a Minecraft.
Point your thumbs.
John Papa hit me up at Thesis himself on Instagram with the Zoom room. Let's do this shit. I'm gonna teach Nikolai myself.
See, I can do it. This turns into fuck you afterwards.
We're gonna get shot, bro. That shit looks like a gang sign to me.
All right, guys.
Well, as always, thank you guys, and from us here at Rescue, we love you and we like you all. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid that you can get hurt doing, at least. Do stupid stuff that's fun. Have a great week, guys. Thank you, Thesis.
Thank you, Thesis.